Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna start the show off with a little bit of a heavy note. I found out today that a good friend of mine, Mike S. Miller, comic book extraordinaire, suffered from a stroke and Shad M. Brooks of Shadiversity has put up a Give, Send, Go for him, and I would very much like to share that out. The Give, Send, Go, Mike S. Miller. And that was quite a shock. Mike, it's one of those things. It's like Mike is a very, very healthy guy, and it just goes to show it does not matter. He has always been kind to me from the moment that he met me. He is the one who put me in contact with Shad M. Brooks. He got me on massive live streams through that, and he's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful father. He's an amazing artist, and to hear that he had a stroke, man, it breaks my heart, and I pray for his fast recovery. I really, really do hope that people are able to go check out the Give, Send, Go and donate. If my wife and I, our finances are super, super, super tight this month, but if we are able to go and donate to the Give, Send, Go, we are going to donate what we can. Man, that was just a shock to hear today. And I really do just hope, keep Mike S. Miller in your thoughts and your prayers. And if you can, please go to the Give, Send, Go. I just dropped it down in the chat below. I will put it in the link of the description of this video. Chat, guys, for those of you who are here, please remind me, because as always, we're going to have fun on the show. But I would like to offer up the prayer at the opening of the show to Mike Miller and his family, that he may recover fully from this and go on to live a happy, healthy life with his wife and children. So, as always, guys, let's, usually I say, everybody, for those out there, keep those who are important to you in your thoughts and prayers, and keep a person in your mind. I am going to be a little bit selfish tonight and ask that you guys offer up this prayer for my friend, and for those of you in chat, probably your friend as well. Offer up this prayer for Mike Miller. So let's start in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Mike, I hope this message reaches you. I hope somebody in the chat, I'm not on socials anymore, that I can contact him or DM him, because I don't think I'm really only on Facebook anymore. But if anybody in the chat can reach out for me and just say, hey, Royce is pulling for you, I'm praying for you, and I will do my best. As long as this Give, Send, Go is up, I want to make sure that I'm sharing it around and getting everybody aware of it. Mike is he's just an amazing person. He's just a good guy. I love him to death. He's been so kind to me. And yeah, if anybody in the chat can pass along that message, that are just, you're in our thoughts and our prayers, and my family will be praying for you. I would love if you guys would pass that message along to Mike for me. Just because I don't know how to reach out to him at this point. It's kind of the negative of not being on Twitter anymore. You're not on the most popular social media platform, and it's tough to kind of reach out. It's kind of tough to reach out to people, all of that being said, we have quite a few videos and stories tonight that are just absolutely insane. The world is just getting crazier and crazier as time goes on. And thank you so much, John. Thank you. And thank you, Caffeinated Wolf. Wrangler, by the way, thank you so much for the super chat of 420. Thank you so much, man. It's kind of hard to make the joke thinking about that. Ugh. What a tough way. The last two shows have started off with some really, really heavy, people needing prayers and people going through some serious medical issues, man. And it is, dude, God, I hate to use this analogy, but it's like when it rains, it pours, and I just keep yourselves as healthy as you can, and keep yourselves good in the prayer life. It's important. Be with your family. Mike was part of starting the 420 gag. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Years ago. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Mike was a part of a lot of the gags on the channel and just some of the jokes that were made on this channel. Like he was so freaking awesome. Goodness. All right. Well, the first, this, I watched this the other day because it got sent in the Discord, and I'm like, I listened to it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to react to this on the channel, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to. So how do you guys feel about watching TV? Well, how do you feel about when your TVs are actually watching you and taking snapshots of everything that you put on the screen? Not even just stream it, but put on the screen of your home television. And that data is now being sent off to a company, most likely in China, to use it against you. I watch YouTube on my television. I watch YouTube. I watch, anime. I know other people will use it to, put up a little...
Your TV set is...
Hold on. Of course it has to start. But going over here... Rosin reports. This was shared in the Discord the other day. Let me know how the audio is. That sounds a little quiet to my ear. Please tell me how the audio is for you guys, and I will adjust it. But this is absolutely terrifying. And Blacklist Universe, Mike in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, of course, dude. Hey, my prayers are with you, man. God, Dude, just reach out if you need anything. If it's within my power and within my family's power, we will do everything we can for you, man. I hope that you're recovering well, and please keep us as updated as you can.
I'll have a buddy getting on soon. You can join if you guys want.
So yeah, let's. Rosin reports.
On you, watching you, listening to what your TV set is spying on you, watching you. Listening to what you're watching, taking snapshots 30 times a minute of what you're watching and building a digital profile and using that and selling that and collecting that. It's scary stuff. We're going to get into all of that.
What's so terrifying about this too is that years ago they just used to, you'd go out to a public place, you'd pay cash, you'd swipe your credit card, you'd sign up for give me this magazine, send the Sears catalog to me, whatever. And they would kind of gather your data that way through you going out into the world, engaging in commerce in the world. Now they're just like, no, in the privacy of your own home, we're just going to collect that information now. You don't even have to leave your house. Nope. You stay right at home, right in the comfort of your own home, and guess what? We're just going to collect that data from you. You don't even have to engage in commerce anymore for them to take your data, sell it, market it, sell it to scammers. It's absolutely disgusting what these companies are allowed to do.
Plus, there's a brand new massive lawsuit. This has gotten so intense and so bad just recently. That's the reason we want to do the show. The Texas Attorney General has just sued a bunch of the big TV manufacturers, including Sony and Samsung and others, saying you can't.
I would never move to Texas because they got some things down there that I just don't like. But you know what? That Texas has been bringing some great lawsuits lately. And I just have to give it up to them. They're doing God's work down there with some of these lawsuits and some of the laws that they've been passing in the last 4 or 5 years.
Do this to us. And you know, you need to pay for it and you need to stop doing it. But until then, it's on your TV right now. It's baked in. And the worst part is the default settings are actually on. So when you get the TV, if you haven't purposely shut it off, it's on right now. So we're going to actually walk through and watch to the end of the video.
See, and that's what's so insane is that you are not notified about any of these. You go, buy a brand new TV. Hey, I just got a Christmas bonus. I just got a good tax return. You know, the old TV's getting kind of old or broken, or maybe the kids threw a Nerf ball into it and it's been cracked for a long time. And you know what? We just want to treat ourselves. We just want to treat ourselves to a TV. We're just going to go out and buy it. And you buy it, and now it's literally they're listening to your. I cannot remember the companies years ago, and I struggled to find the story the other day. I remember this happening though, is that there were companies out there. And the televisions that they had were listening. It was like the voice command TVs, but they were always listening. And I think it was like Alexa and like the Google Nest thing. They were always listening, and all of that data was being stored. And the thing is what really got them in trouble was that they were storing, or maybe this was something that I heard somewhere. They were storing all of that data, including children. Including what children were saying to these things. I wish I could find that story now. I tried looking for it the other day, but my good Lord, every search engine now is it's next to impossible to find what you're looking for.
At the end of the show, we are going to walk you through each brand and the step-by-step instructions to disable this and to stop the tracking. So how does this technology work? How are they doing this? Here's an amazing explainer. Take clip 2.
Your smart TV is doing more than just showing you content. It's quietly taking notes, snapping images of what's being.
And that's what's so terrifying too. Is this is like they're not just showing you. It's not a TV. You buy it, you put it in your house, and it shows you images that you get to watch and enjoy with your family. No, it knows. It knows what you're watching. This is absolutely wild.
Displayed, not a couple here and there. Up to 30 full frames every minute, even if you haven't touched the remote. According to U.S. Patent 10,951,698b1, filed by Inscape Data Services.
Holy shit.
This isn't a hidden bug or random glitch. It's built into the system, part of a process called real-time visual sampling. Even when your TV appears to be in standby mode, it's still scanning what's on the screen and collecting that data.
How scary is that?
Do you know?
What's the purpose of scanning if it's in standby mode? I mean, help me out with this. That one confused me because I was like, wait a minute, it's in standby. It's literally just in rest mode. Is that to just tell you what ads people are most likely to click on? Like, what's going on? Like, that one was just wild to me.
That we all have a secret digital profile collected by our two smart TVs. So how exactly does our TV know so much about us? It all comes down to something called ACR, or automatic content recognition. This technology is built right into many smart TVs, and it's far more powerful than most people realize. ACR works by not only taking screenshots, but also listening to the audio coming from your screen. Then it compares that content to a massive database of shows, ads, and scenes to figure out exactly what you're watching and when. It's not just about knowing the channel.
So then if it's so fucking smart, why can it never show me something that I would genuinely be interested in? It always tends to show me crap that's just like mediocre.
Thank you.
Like, if it's so damn smart, and it's like, oh, we've got the perfect thing for you, it's just because the writers now today just absolutely suck. Like, this is it. Yes, it's terrifying that they're trying to collect this data, but if they're so damn smart about collecting this data, why can't they give me something fucking good to watch? Like, I should never, if the technology is at this point, I should never turn my TV. If you're gonna be spying on me in this way, I should never turn my TV on and not have an entertaining show to watch that I think is just, oh my gosh, it's just 10 out of 10 all the time. And yet all you do is feed me crap that's just mundane.
Or app, you're being tracked down to the second. ACR doesn't just collect what you stream online. It can also grab data from what you watch through HDMI, like DVDs or game consoles. So even if you're playing an offline video game or watching an old disc, your TV still knows what's going on and logs.
So it sees me when I play Need for Speed Underground. Or when we watched Ernest Goes to Camp the other day with the family. If our TVs really do this, and I need to inspect if our TVs actually do this.
The details.
Isn't that crazy? Even when you're offline, even when you're not watching anything, the TV is still watching, just waiting for you to give it data. This is the reason TVs are so cheap. We keep talking about, remember how expensive TVs used to be, like thousands of dollars for a TV? Now they're pretty damn cheap. Why? Because you're the product. They basically want any excuse to get this spying device into your house because that's where they make the real money. Let's bring in our cybersecurity expert and hacker, Jim Stickley. What's going on, Jim? Thank you so much for...
It's like, and I think everybody knows at this point, there was a big story years ago where Target started sending like prenatal vitamins and a lot of like early pregnancy ads and stuff to a person's house. And they were like, what the hell? Why are you sending this stuff to my house? Well, based off of the data that was collected from his teenage daughter, she was looking into these things and they knew. So they started advertising it to the house. And that story kind of blew up because the dad was like, no, like my little girl's not pregnant. Like, what are you talking about? Turns out she was. They knew about it before he did. Like, this is just a furtherance of that crap. Like, I mean, God, dude, I hate to say that we're on a slippery slope, but God, it feels like they put a fucking slip and slide on that slope now. You know, just slippy slidey into the into the modern U.S. dystopia, man. And just full bore.
For joining us, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
All right, so you and I were texting yesterday about this, and you were saying not only can they take screenshots of your screen and know what you're watching and build that profile, this can get very invasive and very personal.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. So, you know, okay, great. If you're watching the Kardashians, you might be embarrassed if everybody else knew you were watching it, but that's not that big a deal. But, you know, let's say that
it's a big deal. If you're watching the Kardashians, there's something very wrong in your life. I'm sorry, that's a big deal.
you're now decide to get a little more randy with, let's say, your wife, and you go, you know what, let's use our phone and maybe film an intimate moment together. And you go, okay, well then you go, well, let's see how we looked, right? So you cast it from your phone back to your TV. Now your TV's taking screenshots up to twice a second of what you're casting on there. So now suddenly you and your wife are primetime television for God knows who that's down the...
You know, let's use a less extreme example in this. This is a pretty extreme example, but I'm not gonna say people don't do it. Like my wife and I, we don't have a TV in our bedroom. We just have our phones. However, let's get to the point where they were saying like, oh, by the way, your TV's listen to you. Your TV's in your phones listen to you, right? And it's like, well, how many people are with their wives? And it's just like, hey, you say some things in the bedroom and you're just like, oh yeah, you like that? What about this situation? That, like, you know, you just talk. You do dirty talking, and sometimes you get very dirty talking, right? That's being recorded, you and your wife in an intimate, or your girlfriend or whatever, in an intimate moment, just saying things to, you know, get the arousal, you know, dopamines going off in your brain. And that is now being taken out of your home and stored in a private server somewhere else. You know, it's amazing the amount of people that I've heard where they will say, they're like, look, they're like, I don't know why I'm on this social media website and I'm getting these just adult ads. They're like, what the hell? Why? Well, if your phone was in the bedroom when you and your wife were, you know, having some fun conversation, doing what husbands and wives do, they're probably feeding that up to you based off of what that private moment that you had that you didn't even know they were recording. This is fucking disgusting.
You guys know about this?
Of that information.
This is
out
absolutely
to God
disgusting.
knows where, because the problem is you don't even know what happens to this data. They say that the data goes off to the manufacturer, and then the manufacturers repackage it. There's nothing to tell you whether they're like, you know, cleaning it up, scrubbing it first. You have no idea what that data is going to end up doing or where it'll be and how it could be used against you later.
And so this is not just what you're watching on TV. It's almost like a misnomer to say like, oh, they're only watching the TV. They're watching anything that appears on the screen. Anything you cast up there, they can watch.
So now they've
wild.
realized this is also having national security implications, because both TCL and what's the other, Hisense, are both China companies. So now they're realizing, like, let's say you have a couple of these screens in the White House, and they have whatever on those screens having some sort of meeting, and that data is being captured and sent out. Now, hopefully, you would hope they're smart enough to do that. But smaller regional politics, or God knows where, any of these types of things, that data is being captured and, again, sent out to other countries.
That's just wild.
So you start to wonder, and then you were talking about the IP address. Like, now, if I know where this IP address is and I can trace it back to you, now I know exactly what you're doing. And if you happen to be showing a PowerPoint presentation with confidential information, that could be trouble. Let's say you're a corporation and you're having a board meeting where you're talking about something you're going to be releasing.
Dude,
this is now insider trading.
How many of you guys work for companies? They buy the cheap big screen TV to put in the room for meetings, and they're like, all right, we're going to put up our quarterly stuff, and we're going to talk about all this. I think like my company doesn't do this, but I mean, this is this is a violation of private property rights. This is violations of just privacy rights to a level that it's insane. And I knew that a lot of this stuff was going on. So there were certain TVs and stuff like that I'm just not going to buy. Like, and I've been kind of wary about this stuff for a while. My wife, God knows, she's heard me rant about this for a long time. But like, there's like, this is, dude, the fact, I'm sorry, this is why we don't need boomers in Congress anymore. These people don't fucking understand where technology is today, and we need people in our government, right? It's supposed to be by the people, by the people, for the people, government of the people, by the people, for the people, all that stuff. Can we get some normal ass fucking people in Congress that pay attention to this stuff to go, yeah, hey, maybe we shouldn't allow this stuff to enter our country? Can we do that? Can we get the average age of Congress under 72? That would be great. That would be great. Enter the meme. That would be great. Right. The Office Space meme.
Where a company could literally see information ahead of time that the stock market doesn't even know about yet. Buy stock. I mean, it goes crazy on what you could do with this stuff.
This is insane.
And also, by the way, that leads to how it impacts you guys at home and all of us that's how data breaches happen, right? Yeah. There's some PowerPoint presentation going on at Geico somewhere, and it's being stolen by a hacker. There's a data breach, and your customer information is stolen, and then your money's being stolen. You can draw that straight line right back to us.
And it's happened in so many other areas. And so you go, so going back to like the naked pictures or whatever, maybe the corporation that gets them is supposed to scrub them. But there's a criminal that's got on that network. They downloaded everything to terabytes of data somewhere else. Now they can take it and they can release it, or they could reach back out to you because they've been able to trace back who you are and start threatening you with ransom and saying either pay this or I'm going to release all of this to your friends and family.
Yeah, Joseph, by the way, we just had a comment from Joseph who wrote, this explains why you can watch something on TV. This explains why I get a lot of little ads when I look at something online with my phone. You can get ads on TV when you look at something on your phone now, and you're like, oh, they're listening to me. But really, they're watching everything.
Yeah, they're again in the one thing that they're talking about the screenshots. They're not talking about the fact that they are listening to the audio that is playing on the devices. That was in some of the video he showed earlier. Like, yes, they're taking screenshots and clips of everything being shown on the TV, but they're also listening to everything that is being cast out of the speakers as well. That is fucking just wild. They're not listening to you. They're listening to the things that you're listening to. So when you sit there and go, I like this content creator, I'm going to listen to them. Right? And however many different content creators you get, it's like all of a sudden, finally, for some weird reason, I started getting a lot of bowling reels on Facebook. I was like, well, that's strange. I've never looked up a bowling thing on Facebook. Well, that's not true. But all of a sudden, there's just like a lot of them. And I'm just like, Weird. How did that happen? Because I like bowling. I grew up in a bowling alley. My family was part of owning a bowling alley. Like that's in my DNA. I love it. My kids are doing it now. It's just a thing. But yeah, all of a sudden and then there's just ad after ad after ad of just all this stuff. And like I said, half the crap I don't fucking care about. But there must be a profile out there that says that people who watch the stuff that I do like to care about this crap. And I'm just like, no, this isn't relevant to me.
Absolutely. And if you're together with your wife, now they know you're both watching the same thing. Or if a friend's come over, if you have a friend with you and they're both hanging out watching TV, now both of you are getting the same thing. And again, everybody always assumes must be listening. Well, it is kind of listening. It's listening through your TV. Because there's other part is that people forget is the TVs can record the audio on that TV. So now let's say you're playing home movies or whatever. It can capture anything that was happening there. And then they were also talking about in the same lawsuit that it can capture small snippets of audio because your TV can, in some cases, like the remote can capture what you're saying. And that is also being recorded. So then you're capturing that. It's just, basically, it's become a spy device. And the other thing that people sometimes will do is hook their home cameras to like Nest and stuff up to their television. So like they can watch on their TV what's going on around their property or even in their house. All of that is now being captured as well. So suddenly, if you have a camera in your house and it goes back to that TV, they're now watching through that camera in your home.
Right, so they literally are watching your house through your TV, and so I guess the purpose here is just not to do that. Also, gaming consoles, even when you're offline, they can watch. I was reading anything plugged into that TV through an HDMI or something.
This is just
well, and there's two parts to that. So offline, let's say
it's
your
so
HDMI.
deep. It's like I knew some levels of this. So when I heard this, I was like, I'm not really surprised. I'm not really surprised because I already knew there were some levels to this, some layers to this from years ago, from stories. I've been following crap like this for an unhealthy amount of time. I'm 34 years old, guys. I've been tracking stuff like this for a long fucking time. And you know what? Years ago, I was the conspiracy theorist, and you don't know what you're talking about. And that's just, well, yeah. Who's the fucking conspiracy theorist now? Fuck.
Obviously, they're capturing all of that. But let's say that you've connected to the internet, and so that's just streaming back to them. Now, let's say you kill your internet, and so now you have no internet. So you say, oh, you know what? While I'm watching my movies or whatever, I'm going to disconnect it from the internet. That way, it can't stream back. According to the lawsuit, it can be recorded later.
Oh yeah, no, they'll store this. They'll record it, store it, and then once you hook your TV back up to the internet, they're going to pull the data. I actually need to go upstairs and see if like our TVs have this stuff on them. I thought they were old enough and didn't have this stuff on them, but I need to double check. This is a little crazy.
I can record really.
Yeah, it'll record. It's supposed to, again, just reading what it said in the lawsuit. It'll capture the data, store it, and then upload it at a later date.
So this is all how the legitimate, but by the way, this is terrifying that the legitimate companies can gather all this and share this with whoever they want and sell it. That's how they make their money. Your information is worth a lot of money. It's more, your data's worth it more to them than just the TV itself sitting in your house. But I also want to talk about hackers. What is our vulnerability with hackers? These TVs are online. We're feeding information to it. Is there a danger from hackers being able to get into our TVs and learn stuff about us? Speaking as a hacker yourself.
And we've seen in the past this exact thing where basically the risks come down to, let's say you have a device, your phone is connected on your home network or your laptop. If one of those devices is compromised, they're generally the launch point to then start attacking those TVs internally. We've seen a number of cases where there's been.
Well, yeah, and this is where you get into like connectivity, right? So, however many devices that you have connected to your home router, all right, every one of those is a breach point. So, just think about the amount of devices, the cell phones that you have, the tablets that you have, the gaming systems that you have, the computers that you have, the TVs that you have. If one of those things, if you get phished, if you fall for a phishing scam, if you fall for something, if one of those things gets hacked and you connect directly to your router, you have now exposed every device into the house. And so it's not just your phone gets taken down, your personal laptop gets taken down. It's your wife's. It's your kid's tablet. Right? It's your televisions. It's everything is connected in your homes. I mean, some people go as far, it's your refrigerator, your washer and dryer. Your thermostat. Like, extrapolate this to everything that they're putting this technology into.
And literally those types of attacks where criminals could go after them. It's not like a criminal could sit on the internet and attack your TV.
Thank you for the $5, Mario.
It's on your local network.
Check out
Get to it that way.
Check out that chat here in just a minute. Thank you so much for the $5, dude.
But they can get to it through local devices on your network, oftentimes through mobile apps that turn out to be malicious, or through just your desktop or something that's been compromised. And then you also have just the manufacturers themselves that have had breaches galore where criminals just target them. And it's just, and to me, that's your bigger risk, because that happens all the time. And for a criminal, it's the supply and demand. Like, I can get way more bang for my buck going after a manufacturer. If I could hack TCL and steal all the data from there,
I got sideswiped by a bot.
to me, where your biggest risks are is you just don't know how well that data is being protected.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And,
am I still
know-
streaming right now? Because it looks, I feel like my internet just did something weird. Let me know if I'm still live.
Keep going.
One thing, I'm sorry. There's all sorts of data privacy or protections around, like social security numbers, account numbers, credit card numbers. I don't really know there's a lot of data protection around what you had on your television that somebody recorded. I don't know that they even have to disclose that as a breach.
The laws haven't caught up yet. I mean, smart TV technology is not like that new, but it's like it hasn't caught up yet.
Well, yeah, and the reason that it hasn't caught up is because you have boomers that are, constantly fantasizing about how good their life was back in the 60s and 70s and not looking into the future going, hey, how is this technology going to affect our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren? Because again, what the average age of Congress is like 72. The average age of Congress is near the fucking mortality rate of the U.S. And we have people who are constantly looking rearward and not looking forward.
And one thing I want to show you, Jim, and we'll talk on the back end of this, they bury the user agreements on this. They have to disclose everything to you, right? But good luck finding it on your TV. I just got an LG television a few weeks ago, actually. My other one crapped out. And I had a Sony. Now I have an LG. And so I'm not really familiar with it. So because I was researching all this, I wanted to record myself last night looking for where this stuff is and all the legal language. We recorded me doing it. Watch this.
Okay, so this is my personal TV. I've hit settings.
So yeah, this is crazy. So if you guys have a TV similar to his, he's going to kind of show you how to get there. And then after that, I'm going to go into my final thoughts of this because this is insane. This is crazy.
And now I'm in privacy and terms. I want to show you literally how crazy this is. So I'm hitting it. It's loading. I'm doing this in real time to show you what you're going to deal with. So you come over here to user agreements, right? So it's going to load up again. Wait for the user agreements. Look at all this. Terms of use, privacy policy, viewing information agreement, voice information agreement, interest-based cross-device advertising agreement. It goes on and on. What we're interested in is this one right over here, this viewer information agreement. So look at all of this. Look at all of this writing. It's actually pretty insane. Now, I'm going to read to you a couple of these things. So device information about your smart media product might connect to it and everything that may connect to it, including external devices like a set-top box, remote control, DVD, Bluetooth player. All of that can be sent there. And not just that. Look what they write. Your IP address, device type, device ID. In some circumstances, a truncated MAC address, chipset version, all this stuff that they're going to share. What is automatic content recognition? That ACR we've been telling you about? It tells you everything and how they send everything back. From set-top boxes to gaming consoles, media players, over-the-air broadcast, other audio-visual sources connected to your device. That includes you casting your phone on there.
Imagine having like a birthday party for maybe it's a milestone birthday, right? And you're just like, oh, we just want to honor our kid, and so you put together a slideshow, a wonderful slideshow of all of the pictures that you've taken of your child growing up, and before after you sing happy birthday and before presents, you just say, hey, baby girl or baby boy, we're so happy that you've made it this far in life, and here's you growing up, and you cast this wonderfully personal picture album to your TV to show these moments of your child growing up, and there were cute little photos in the bathtub that parents take, and the cute little photos of them going down the slip and slide or taking their first steps or all of this stuff, or they get their driver's license, all of this stuff, and it's going back to a centralized company and being put in harm's way for your children to then have their photos exposed in a hack and then sold to the highest bidder. And that terrifies the hell out of me, because there's a certain type of person out there that would purchase information like that. All because you just wanted to make a wonderful picture slideshow to honor your child at a milestone birthday.
If you have personal videos playing on this, they're telling you we're going to use that too. So it goes. Look, I just want to show you this legal language. It just goes on and on. How are we going to use it? Well, we're going to send it to our other service providers, right? Look, they purposely make this such a legal document. It's like a defense attorney in a court case. Overload them with discovery so they take nothing out of it. And that's all of this. This is where it is in your privacy.
Most people, I'm sorry, most people in the U.S. do not have a reading comprehension level enough to actually understand this. They just don't. And they don't know how to go and search the sources and look up the legal language that's being used. This is absolutely insane. This was shared by Wrangler. And in the Discord server, and I am so glad that he did, because I want people to understand, when people get online and they're like, look, your privacy is at risk, the things that you're doing is at risk, and guess what? It's not just you paying attention to it. It's everything. It is everywhere. And guess what? You could be the person in the house paying attention to all this information. You could have other people in your household not paying attention to this information. Maybe you still live at home. Maybe you have brothers and sisters that live at home with you. Maybe you're the guy that's like, hey, don't fucking trust the TVs. The TVs are fucking, and your brothers and sisters, they don't give a shit. They don't care. And now your information, just because you share a household with somebody, is getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Extradited. Let's use that word. That's a fun word. Extradited to another country. Your private information is being taken out of your home and sent to these companies to use. Obviously, you can give example after example after example of how do I use my gaming consoles? How do I use my computers? How do I use my TVs? How does all of this, what devices, how many devices do I have connected to my home network, right? What are my children watching? What am I watching, right? Like all of this stuff, what are we doing? And it's all getting sent back. And here's the thing. They can send that information to hackers so they can get back at you if they want to get back at you. Maybe you're living on the spicier side of life, Again, think about it. For those people out there, maybe maybe your wife's feeling real good. Maybe your wife's feeling real good and decides that she's going to, send you a little picture while you're at work, because, she's in the mood or whatever. You come home and it's like, wow. Maybe, how about this? How about a less extreme example? How about you're taking pictures of your children on prom night? They're getting ready to go out. Your daughter is wearing a very beautiful dress you went and picked out, and the boyfriend is there, and he's in a tux, and oh my goodness, it's prom night, and your phone is connected to your home network. Bam, that picture is now going to get bought and sold, and hacked probably. I don't think people understand the level of connection that we have in this world. I don't believe people really grasp it. They think that all of these devices are separate, and they're not. The internet itself is the great connecting web. And that connecting web is what leads to personal hacks, personal information leaks. And in major cases, if you get somebody who's smart, they can find mortgage information. They can find banking information. They can find credit card information. They can find straight up just credit information, social security numbers, birth dates, all the things that they need to do to pull off high-level scams to earn money off of you simply by just getting access in one of these devices by hacking a major company that's taking your data directly out of your home. And it's like, but why are you so mad that these companies are trying to do all this? Because I would like to be in control of my privacy to a certain level. Right? We have to interact in society, and thusly you give up some level of privacy just by interacting in society. Makes sense. Duh. However, I shouldn't be able to be attacked in the ways that I am financially, and be able to be attacked in the ways that I am just through blackmail and stuff, simply because you want to live your life. But yet, these companies are like, oh, we're just going to sell it to a bunch of data brokers and stuff like that. And say, yeah, what happens when you get hacked? What happens when you get hacked? Well, we would never get hacked. Really? I could pull up how many companies that have been hacked just in the last 5 years? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments down below if you guys are seeing the VOD. And as always, I'm going to turn it over to the chat right now in the live stream. So what say you, chat? You guys have been going off on this one. Like, you definitely some chat movement on this topic. Oh my goodness, you guys got to keep going. Oh man. I see Ram. Ram got in the chat. What's going on? It's good to see you, Ram. I have not seen you in a while. Maji-chan was here for a minute. Hello. When you stare into the void, the void TV stares back at you. Yeah, that's not good. That is some 1984 shit, man. Acceleration of the dystopia speed run. God, getting spied on is fun. Yay. Yeah, got a plague. Yeah, it's absolutely, yeah, getting spied on so fun. I love it. It's just great. That's why a basic TV is still expensive. Oh, dude, they're crazy expensive for just a basic run-of-the-mill, no smart technology TV. Yeah. Redoubt Productions, I'm sorry. Who the hell would think to use a TV to do that? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about husbands and wives like recording the spicy moments and then casting it to a TV to do it. That,
Under the trees.
A lot of people that, I mean, different strokes, different folks. And in that instance, they want to see how good the strokes were. God, that's time for a crusade. I mean, yeah, but I'm sorry. People lack the willpower today to do it. It's anybody who cares about stuff like this they're not going to get out and go crusade. They're not. I mean, we're all sitting here complaining about it on YouTube, which public sentiment can very much affect this stuff. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure my company is that cheap. What do you mean? All those jokes about Chinamen running around with cameras in the 80s and 90s aren't so funny now, are they? Oh, yeah. Wow. That's been a while. Some of them are wanking the buns in Congress. Oh, wait. Figure of speech. Got it. Yeah. So if I stream Royce, they hear this right now. Yeah. Legitimately, everything that I'm saying, everything that was in this video, everything, yeah, they hear it all. So it's not, and you apparently like to hang out here and watch this, which means you must enjoy some of the things that I'm saying, which means that it's going to actually adjust its advertising to you based off of watching me. This is playing on a smart TV that I'm using as a computer monitor right now. Thankfully, I never turned on the Wi-Fi, although I'm not certain that makes any difference at this point. Well, your computer is connected to the Wi-Fi.
That was the guy that
and this thing can communicate through HDMI. So Mario Trujillo for $5. Thank you so much for the super chat. Just looked up some quick price comparisons. An average, a dumb TV, is close to twice as much as a smart TV. Crazy times we're living in. That's absolutely insane. Yep, the data mining is their primary business model these days. Yeah. My washer needs no internet. Some people apparently need washers to have internet. I think ours can connect to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or something, and we're just like, why? Clean the clothes, washer. I don't need you to do more than that. How is the goat? Sadly, Samson actually ended up passing away a little while back. We're not sure even what happened. I think Matilda's still doing good. Tilly's still good.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he had, because of the people that let us, when they were growing up, there was no outside bacteria, no outside anything.
Right.
We had to move into a group of other goats.
Yep.
And so far, Matilda's good. We're hoping she's pregnant. She should kid this spring.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, we're hoping that Matilda is pregnant and she should kid this spring. That would be wonderful. Some of them are childless as well. Childless advisors brought down many of the Chinese emperors, right? Boomers created a version of America that is never coming back. Apparently I'm saying that older generations created the house of cards that we're in right now is apparently bad. I had an argument in my Discord a while back about that and lost a longtime follower over it. Being like, well, I mean, yeah, we can also blame like a bunch of other generations too, but like, let's look where it started. They didn't care about the future. No, not wrong. Another reason why I've gotten this bad is lazy, dumb, and gullible people who want things easy. Yep. I see what you're saying. Whoever is going to read all of it, who has the time? No, people aren't going to read all of it. You don't buy a TV to read. You buy a TV to watch the shows, right? Yeah. Do you have a shirtless White Claw sipping wallpaper or screensaver on your TV? Oh my gosh. Of course. No, you guys, that's weird. Stop it. That's disturbing. Extradite my information, send it to the foreign nation, listen to my TV station, advertise the latest sensation. Wow. I don't like that you were that quick with that. Gotta play. You can go to the Discord and post that. I'm gonna post that everywhere. That's fantastic. I like that. Dude, your texts are not even direct phone to phone. They're all third party. Yeah, even if you use something like Signal. I know they say, like Signal, they say it's direct encryption, but I don't believe that. PlayStation is hacked every Monday or so. Yes, it is. Bring back Imperial. Go full Vlad on these a-holes. Yeah, well, I don't know, dude. It's terrifying. That explains all the white claw ads. Don't even fucking like that shit. Have a good one, Wrangler. Samson's hair, I mean. No, we're not sure. We think it was just a bacteria. It's the living conditions changed. We had to move the goats from where we were keeping them before because the landowners wanted us to move them. So we did. But they had to get around other goats, and we're assuming that it was a bacterial thing that did it. So, yeah. On somewhat of a kind of lighter note, but also kind of not a lighter note, a YouTuber, Josh Strife Hayes, may or may not have hurt some people's feelings. And I really kind of appreciate everything he was saying here in this clip on his channel. So let's go.
I saw a comment on YouTube.
I wish it wouldn't autoplay like that when I would make the screen large. Let's go see what Josh Strife Hayes has to say about investing time into video games. I really love his take here. And I think this is something very important to discuss and talk about, especially in the world that we live in.
I saw a comment on YouTube a few days ago. Comment on a video of New World. And someone responded to the video I made about New World. and they said, "Can't believe I just bought and enjoyed this. What a waste."
I need like 3.
And I responded saying, how long have you played it for? And they
This is wild. This is absolutely wild to me.
were like, oh, about 2 years. And this is what's worrying me about continuing to cover MMORPGs. I will do it, but this is what worries me about it. People see their gaming time as investment, which they should not do. People think that when they play...
See, and this is one of the things that I've kind of argued that it's nice to enjoy something, but it's not good to lose yourself into that thing. And his point here is so poignant that for those who see their game time, the games that they play, the entertainment media that they consume as investment generally means that after a while of engaging with that thing, you're going to receive something back, right? You're going to receive something, and not just joy, right? You're going to put in something right now, and then later down the road, you're going to get that back, and you're going to get that back more plentifully. And when people invest their life, their energy, their mindset, their time, you're not getting anything back. All you're doing is giving. You're not ever going to get anything back. The purpose of buying entertainment media is to usually shut your brain off for a minute, or in some high-intensity games, turn it on for a minute and engage in that moment. But once you've spent that time with that media, you're never getting that time back. Once time is gone, it's gone, and it's gone for good.
Play a video game, they are investing into their future, which is not a healthy or smart position to be in. If you buy a video game and you play it and you enjoy it, and then that game shuts down, yeah, that sucks, don't get me wrong, but you have never had an investment. This has never been an investment. This was a hobby that you enjoyed.
Absolutely.
That may or may not continue.
And he's 100% correct here. He's 100% correct. And the fact that people do not live in the outside world enough to it's not like when you start a garden, right? When you invest time into when you invest time into a garden, well, you get food from that garden. There's something that you get, payoff. When you invest time into fixing your vehicle, you get a running fucking vehicle. Oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, if you invest time into your career and your skills and the path that you're going on in life, you can get a better career. You can get a promotion. You can move to a different job, do better things, bigger and better things, right? You buy a house, you invest money into a house, that house appreciates in value. You can sell that house, get some money out, go buy a bigger house if you want, or even a smaller house in some instances, which is exactly what I'm going to do when I sell this fucking house that we've got now, which I love this house. But again, when you're investing time into entertainment, there is no investment. You get nothing back from it. It is a one-way street. You are taking the limited time that you have in your life today, right now, you are giving it to that piece of entertainment and effectively walking away, because you are never, ever getting that time back. And there is nothing you can do when you're watching a movie, reading a comic book, reading a book, or playing a video game that is going to give you something in the future for that time that you spent.
Would you feel if you went to go and see a live band and then a week after you saw them live, they announced they were splitting up? Would you be there going, my investment in that band is ruined? If you went to a really nice restaurant and you had a lovely meal at the restaurant, and then a month later the restaurant shuts down, would you there going, oh, my investment in that restaurant is ruined. Well, no, because you knew that you were paying for an experience that would at some point end. You know that when you play an MMORPG or a game, at some point it's going to end. I'm happy I experienced it. Don't get me wrong, it sucks that it's shut down. That's not a fun thing, but it's also not an investment.
I can't believe people got mad over this. Like, the idea that we live in a world where people are so infantilized that they think they're going to get something back out of playing, or that the thing that they're doing engaging with entertainment media is greater than just the moments that they spend with it in that moment, is wild to me. Like, to identify yourself by the games that you play. Literally we talk about the people online, although, the crazy identities, and no, this is my identity and this is how I identify. There are people out there who unassumingly identify themselves by the games that they play, not because they get into some crazy ideology, not because they buy into certain politics, but simply because they have put their brain space and their time and their effort and their energy so much so into this thing that they view this thing that they're doing as an alternate life or as something that's greater than their actual life. And by doing such, they think that when this thing ends, it's catastrophic to them because now their identity is gone. The thing that gave them purpose, sadly, is gone. If you think that you're investing into a game, you must be under the false premise that the game is providing purpose to you. It's not.
Are looking for games, specifically MMORPGs, to replace their life. They want to no longer put time and energy and invest into themselves.
Exactly.
They want to replace themselves with a digital persona, with a game. They want to invest into that instead.
Yep.
They want that to be the thing that has value and maintains a level of stability. And when that goes away, they see that their time into it has been wasted because their time was never about playing the game. Their time was about becoming the game.
I totally forgot that he had said that. Yes.
All right, let's go kill people.
Absolutely.
That's what it was. People forget that it's okay for an experience to end. Like, imagine that you read all of the Lord of the Rings books, and at the end you finish the Lord of the Rings Return of the King, you close the book and you're like, well, that's a wasted investment. I invested all my time into reading those books and now it just ends. What a stupid investment. No, because it's okay for art.
Well, for those of you guys who've hung out with me for years, you've heard me say a story with no end is a story without purpose. A game with no end is a game without purpose. A TV show with no end is a TV show without purpose. And oftentimes, a lot of TV shows will end way after they lose their purpose. It's why I was avid that Disney should not continue the Skywalker storyline if they were going to do Star Wars. That's why I was avid about, we need to stop doing these rebrands or continuing these series. Like, I don't need a 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th game title or a 19th movie in a series. I'm perfectly fine if John Wick never makes another movie again. I'm totally fine if another Halo game never comes out again, because at a certain point, once you go past a natural ending, you go past the natural purpose, and you thusly then lose the purpose of that media. And guess what? The purpose of the time that you spent with it. And that's where the devaluation of this comes in. And that's where when you want to just keep investing time and more time and more time and more time into this thing, effectively what you're doing is a story that is only supposed to be there for a moment. You're dragging out for years, and you no longer and now what you're doing is you're identifying yourself with something that has become purposeless. It no longer has any purpose because the writers did not let it end when it needed to. An ending is something that all of us need to face in life. And ending is something that all of us need to contend with, to grow, to learn from. And by robbing ourselves from the ending and by investing ourselves into something that we think is just going to go on and on forever, and by not paying attention to the real world around us, in fact, it's not an investment, it's a detriment. And a terrible one at that.
Not for a hobby. It is okay for a process of enjoyable experience to end. Sometimes it's good if it does. You're playing Lord of the Rings online for 18 years, and each year I fear the game will shut down. One day it will. One day it totally will shut down, and that's okay.
I can't imagine spending 18 years of my life playing a game. I play a game, I get to the end, I'm like, cool, that was fun.
Wrong.
I'm going to keep my love.
Put my shit back in the bedroom then. Or something. I'll go game in there. Put me in there.
No.
Suck, but it's okay for art to end. It would be great if it stays available because I believe in the Stop Killing Games initiative, but I also don't think that it is the responsibility of art to replace your life. Yeah, Lord of the Rings Online is a great game. I've spoken to some of the people that have made it. They are lovely people that are super passionate about the game. In fact, some of them reached out to me after I made my worst.
And that, I think that's one of the things that we need to be more critical of in society. When people are like, we need to look at somebody and be like, hey, so yeah, like your personality is like become this thing. Like, oh, well, that's just how I am. Okay, well, that's not how you're supposed to be. Don't do that. That's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for those around you.
MMO ever Lord of the Rings Online episode, and they responded saying, hey, it was really nice to see you guys notice some of the stuff that we were doing. Really glad you had a good time in it. And I did have a good time. I don't think it's the best, but I had a good time. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, the TV show, didn't have the best ending. Bit of an understatement, but we'll just stick with that. People have said to me they feel bad about investing in the first few seasons because the final seasons were bad. And I'm like, you never invested. You watched them. You experienced.
See, and this is how I feel like with Supernatural. Supernatural, the first 5 seasons, I contend that the first 5 seasons of Supernatural are some of the best television ever put to TV. But just because it kind of started falling off after that, and the last season I didn't even watch because it was terrible, doesn't mean that I'm not a fan of Supernatural anymore. It means that they had a damn good run. They went beyond the point of their purpose, for sure. But I don't regret watching the first 5 seasons. Hell, I would actually even say the first 8 seasons are good for me. I don't regret watching that. I don't think just because it fell off a cliff. I think, no, they should have ended it a little sooner. But I'm like, oh, woe was me. How could I have spent all of this time? I just, it's like, no, you're a fucking show. You're there. You're going to be gone one day. You're going to be good today. You're probably not going to be good tomorrow.
Experienced them. They are still taken in isolation. Good. Seasons 1 to 5, Game of Thrones, top notch. Seasons 1 to 5 of Supernatural, top notch.
He said it.
Phenomenal.
I forgot he said it.
Some people had their soul crushed though. If you are putting your soul into artwork made by somebody else and giving them full creative control over it, you are being way too fast and loose with your soul. You are invested in your feelings, absolutely, which is why it's totally okay to be annoyed at a project not going the way you want it to, but unless you have complete power and creative control over it, It is dangerous to give someone or something else that much power over you. Staying with something you don't enjoy just to protect your investment. That's a really good point. How many of you...
And I kept telling people for years with certain things, I'm like, nope, it's going to fall off. It's going to fall off. It's already bad. It's not good.
Gotcha.
Like, well, you know, and it's like, there's the sunken cost fallacy. Like there is a sunken cost fallacy. There's a thing that I get into, like I'll start watching an anime and, cause I watch a lot of anime now because I'm going to be honest with you. There's just a lot. I'm not going to pay for that many subscription services to go out and watch the live action television that like there's one subscription service in the US to watch anime on pretty much. And it's Crunchyroll. Right. So it's all in one place. But if I want to go watch all these live action television shows that everybody's telling me are so great, I need to have 17 different streaming services. But anyway, I'll watch an anime and I'll get into it. And I'm just sitting there watching and I get so many episodes in and I'm just, this is terrible. Why am I watching this anymore? I'm like, okay, fuck it. I got to see how it ends. That's not me investing my time. That's me engaging with morbid curiosity. That's how I feel about Rising of the Shield Hero. I fucking hate that show. I hate it. I can't stand it. I still watch it because I just have this morbid curiosity to be like, I want this to end badly. Like it's terrible, but I'm not invested into it. I haven't watched it in a long time, you know, but I'll get that hankering and I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm going to put myself through the torture again. You know, but I'm not sitting here being like, but like my personality is to hate this show. No, of course it's not. It's close to my personality.
You have continued watching TV shows or reading books or specifically playing MMORPG games long past the point you actually enjoyed them because you were continuing to invest and had invested into them. Because they were no longer a game that you played, they were simply a part of the personality that you now had.
Another way to phrase what he is saying here is, think about it this way. If you're going into it to invest into something, usually there's a return on investment, right? Think about everything you do in your life. When you invest time into something, time doing something. When you're cooking, you take the time to cook something. What do you get? You get a wonderful meal out of it. Unless you suck at cooking, then you get ramen. That's how you do. But you get something back. When you invest time into, when you start playing a video game, what do you get when you're done playing that video game? Nothing. You get to go to bed. You get to go to work. You invest time into work, you get money back for your life, right? You invest time into working out, you get better health. You invest time into preparing a party, inviting people over to a barbecue, cooking the food, and you get a wonderful experience with friends and family and good food and memories. When you invest time into a video game, you might just maybe possibly get a okay memory out of it. Maybe 1 in 100 times. I've played video games with my guys, with my friends a lot. Never invested time into it. We just play video games. And every so often, we'll just get this absolutely funny memory that's one that's just going to stick with us forever. My buddies got me back into playing video games in 2019 because of the Modern Warfare 2019 that came out. And I had not played a first-person shooter in over a decade. It had been a long time. So my buddies were trying to like get me back up. So they were like 1v1ing me in the small maps and stuff like that. And I was sitting there with my buddy, and I can't even remember. We were on one of like it was like a warehouse map. And there was like this thing in the middle that you could like, and it was like platforms that had 2 ramps that came up, and it was like a small person, you know, a small team map. And I remember sitting there, and I'm still playing terribly, but we're playing, and I'm trying to sneak up on my buddy, and I kind of know where he is. And I just for a random moment, I go, I got a lovely bunch of coconuts, and I jump up, and there's my buddy, and And right after I say coconuts, my gun goes off and I go, and I shoot him and I kill him in Call of Duty. I have to say that. And without missing a beat, it sounded like this. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, standing in a row. We couldn't fucking breathe. My buddy was laughing so hard, he ended up losing the match to me. And at that point, I hadn't picked up a controller in a decade on a first-person shooter. I didn't know what fucking ADS was because I was a Halo 2 kid, and you didn't aim down sights in Halo 2. Master Chief don't aim down sights, okay? And it was funny. But that's 1 in 100... 1 in 1,000 times that I've played with my friends at this point. Can you imagine trying to invest time into video games to attempt to get that natural, comical fucking memory from it? My goodness, Lord. That just sounds sad to me.
Why do people think it's an investment? Because people put far too much time into it and they don't want to admit that the time they put into something doesn't necessarily have value. It's okay to play something, to enjoy it, and to move on. When people message me saying, have you quit whatever game they want to mention, they message me because they haven't seen me play it in a while. And I turn around and I say, no, I haven't quit. I'm just doing other things. Because people find it very difficult if they invest into a thing, like a game, they find it difficult that other people can enjoy something without investing. Like, I can enjoy a process without emotionally committing to it. If you want...
That is, I love how he said that. You can enjoy a process without emotionally investing into it. Madness, I see you in the chat. We're going to get to the chats here in just a second. That you can enjoy the process without emotionally investing into that process. Because that is to the detriment of yourself.
Yeah, that's a great line. If you want to hate a game, try to 100% it. Have I quit Warframe? No. I downloaded Warframe again in order to get footage for the video that I was making and ended up wasting like 3 hours just playing it. It was great fun. I had a good time. You don't have to finish a game. You don't have to continue doing any process that you don't enjoy doing. There is, and this is when nuance just breaks down and media literacy is terrible. People, when I say something like, you don't have to continue a process that you don't enjoy, people message me going, but Josh, at the start of this conversation, you said that pacing is important and things can start slow and you might not necessarily get to the good bit of something right away. To which I respond, yeah, you have to get that there's nuance and subtlety and specifics to this.
You have to understand there's context to every situation. The frustration on his face just there. Let's back up for a second. The frustration, let's
get that there's nuance and subtlety and specifics to
that frustration. Oh my God, that's how I feel. That frustration that people are, but this thing, and you're just like, do you live in a world where the data set that your brain operates within cannot compute connecting multiple data sets? Like, do you understand every situation is not comparable to every other situation? Like, and it's not, people call it nuance, it's context, it's this thing that we used to call critical thinking. It's extrapolation. It's comprehension. Fucking comprehend. Take just a moment and think deeper than the single level, the first tier of thinking. Go, what do they call it? Multi-tiered thing. I can't fucking remember the name of it. Oh, first order thinking. There's first order, second order, and all of that. Think for a moment that just because I give this example here does not necessarily mean it ties into the context of the example that I'm giving here. Because it's exhausting to try to explain to people how to fill in that fucking gap. Because I have, and I would assume Josh Strife Hayes is similar, 30 plus years of knowledge between my ears. And if I give an example over here in the conversation, when I get to here in the conversation, I'm using the knowledge to just say, okay, I assume that the people listening to me right now have some semblance of the knowledge that I have right now, and thusly I don't need to explain 5 years of experience or knowledge that I have to tell you this context doesn't equal this context, you internet midwit.
This. I don't necessarily enjoy the first episode of Firefly, but I understand that it's important in the narrative setup and the construction of it. It's so... People like to take what you say and then just immediately flip it around.
All the time.
Someone just said, I'm enjoying...
All of the time. I have had that happen so many times, and it is infuriating. It is absolutely infuriating.
I saw a comment on...
It's going to play again. I cannot believe that people got mad at that video. This is... it. I have nothing left to say on that, or I will just go into a blind rage. If you got mad or insulted at that video, strongly reevaluate your life and the prioritization of your time, because time is the one thing you own and the one thing you will never get back. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section down below. And as always, I'm going to turn it over to the live chat right now. I just can't. You guys are going off there for a little bit. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. This explains the White Claw ads. Oh, I think I already read that. Got to play. Oh, snap. I scrolled up way too much. Okay. Oh, wow. Piers Morgan tripped and fell and broke his femur. Yeah, he's old. I'm surprised that's all he broke. I mean, I hope he gets well. But Piers Morgan, Gravity, Uncensored. Josh is amazing. Yes, he is. His worst MMO series is amazing. I really like that. He actually covered Cyberpunk 2077, which is a game that I realized that I am never going to play. The reason I'm never going to play Cyberpunk is because I found out the issues that... So I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners and fucking hated it. Thought it was absolute trash tier garbage. Just don't... I mean, from the narrative perspective, I thought it was trash tier garbage. The visuals were good. Audio was good. Voice acting was good. Sound design was good. Everything was very, very good in that show except for the narrative and all that. And I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he finally watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and he goes, no, dude. He said, I really enjoyed it. I'm like, how the fuck did you enjoy it? He goes, well, I feel it's a really good representation of the genre. And my eye twitched, and I was like, then I just don't like the genre. And he goes, what do you mean? And I explained to him, and I got into it, and effectively, like, I dislike the cyberpunk genre on the philosophical level. Like, not even just like I don't like the right, like to the philosophical point that it makes that it makes people want to watch morally reprehensible people fight against more morally reprehensible people. And he's like, yeah, you're just, the cyberpunk is just not for you. And I was like, okay, yeah. So gaming time is just wasting time at the end of the day. There is something to be said for Hobby time though, winding down, right? Winding down is important. You get to the end of your day, you're like, oh my gosh, it's been a rough day at work. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to calm my mind down. I'm going to wind down. I'm going to calm myself down for bed. So that way, when I lay down in bed, I've kind of purged some of the things that I need to purge and work throughout the day before I go to bed. So I'm not up all night. That could be time well spent, right? But in the context that he was referring to, it's very different God of Plague. Very, very different. Have a good night, Mario Trujillo. Thank you so much. May God's holy light shine bright on your family. Peace, brother. Have a good night, Mario. Punish John says, incorrect. I give Xenoblades my money, and I get big titty anime waifus in return. I always win. I'm going to ban him. I'm going to ban him. That's not even a thing. My job is an investment. My hobby is to distract me from my investment. Well, you need wind down time. Sometimes distractions are good and they're well spent, but it's when the distraction becomes not the distraction anymore. Someone make sure John A. Douglas never finds himself playing a gacha game. Oh no. In my writing, if you give me your time, I will give you a smile on your face. I can believe people got mad at Josh. People get mad about everything. Yeah, it's really tough to be like, no, I'm just an average person. I have the average amount of intelligence. And if you believe yourself to be average, that means that there's at least 50% of the population that's dumber than you.
Oh, yeah, no,
And a large portion of that population has such a percentage difference in knowledge than you have or experience than you have that it actually greatly affects your perspective on life. And there is just absolutely no way to cross that bridge. There's no way to enter. And that terrifies the absolute shit out of me. John Halo, the Wickening, pretty much. That sounds like a threat, John, probably. Do you think some of the hate might be from the Stop Killing Games crowd, that they might see this as a get over it, move on, touch grass because of the mention of MMO's live service ending? I don't think that's necessarily what it is. The Stop Killing Games, now I feel like there's a portion of this. In my mind, it's I purchased a thing, you shouldn't be able to take that thing away from me arbitrarily. That's where I'm at. I paid money for this. That means I get to keep the thing that I bought, right? Private property rights. That's how I view the Stop Killing Games movie, because it's effectively what it was trying to do. You lost a longtime follower for this thing. No, I didn't lose a long time. No, Herman P. Hunter, the Lore Forge. He and I had a very big disagreement on the Discord. You guys can go back and see it in the taproom discussion. I was trying to say that I think the house of cards that our economy and was built on was started by the Greatest Generation after they got back from World War II. He didn't like that, and it somehow devolved into me apparently saying that he didn't live the life that he lived.
You got two coming to your right.
And so it's actually something I've contemplated about, and I'm like, I don't know how he made those leaps. But yeah, it was just a big argument that we had, and he said he was done. He wasn't going to be a part of the Discord anymore. He unfriended me on Facebook because I'm not sure he got there. For anybody who wants the screenshots to see how the whole conversation played out, I will send them to you. They were in a public Discord. I don't care. But yeah, no, I didn't lose a longtime follower for this. I lost a longtime follower for trying to discuss history. So Mike has bad knees. If time equals money, then time spent watching is then an investment. I would say season 1 and 4 Game of Thrones were fantastic, and season 5 was good. We're on the same page of Shield Hero. Okay, thankfully I did give up. I think I gave up on it. I think I'm finally done. Mike has bad knees. I finally gave up on Shield Hero. But I got so far into it, and I was just like, I want it to end badly. I don't even want that show to end with a mediocre. I'm like, I want you to end bad. It makes me so angry. It's just piss poor writing. Wait, was there more than one season of Shield Hero? Could swear that's wrong. No, it's 4 seasons now. Season 4 is up on Crunchyroll right now. I really enjoyed the first season, but heard it falls off a cliff after that immediately. Oh, immediately. Not yes. Mike has bad knees. What's going on? Excuse me. Goodness, excuse me. Oh, my bad. I can't hit my mute button. It's too far away now. My fingies can't reach it. I get good memories with friends and my lady, or inspiration for stories and art. But unless I'm a full-time content creator who makes money off of gaming, I don't get an ROI. Exactly. Well, and again, you can get an investment in downtime, in hobby time. But investing into the game, that's investing into escapism in general. There's a one thing is treating it as downtime to wind down, to alleviate some of the pressure of the day. There's another thing as treating it like they say as an investment. Right? If it's downtime, that's one thing. If it becomes more than downtime, it's a very different thing. DSP is the only one who gets ROI on gaming, LOL, or ROI on getting low count anyway. I didn't know about that guy until a long time. Hey, Royce, have you checked out Arc Raiders? No, my wife is supposed to check it out tonight. She said she's going to check it out tonight. I have not checked it out. Roy's the black sheep opinion. Never heard of such a thing. Hello. Sorry, Royce. I went mind ramble on the chat earlier. You're fine. Ramble away. I do that. Oh, it's unfortunate with falling out. I don't really look at falling outs as unfortunate anymore. It's just a part of life, right? One of the things that I came to the realization of, is I don't look at people as like, oh, we need to be friends forever. I'm like, no, there's people who, depending on what part of life they're in and the things that they're interested in, there are friends for now, and that's just fine. It's totally fine to have friends for now or followers for now or whatever. People are like, oh, falling outs suck. I don't really view falling outs that suck. I'm just like, oh, okay, it was time, right? There was that's just how relationships go. A lot of people like to view the relationships that they have specifically in the friendship world and things like that, or even online people that they hang out with as this permanent thing in their life. And I got rid of that many, many years ago. I abandoned that thought shortly after high school, actually. And there are specific relationships that you don't treat like that. Obviously, the marriage relationships, even that, like with your children and stuff like that. But even I've gotten to a point where even certain family members, I'm just like, okay, we were close then, but we're not, cousins and things like that. Like, I'm not going to force something to continue on when, especially, we're very different people now. So for me and the follower that. He's a good friend of mine. The Hedge. He's a good friend. We've been on many streams together. I love him to death. I still think he's a good person, right? I'm not going to say he's a bad person, and I would still tell you, go buy his books. Go buy Wizards of the Stone. Go buy Herman P. Hunter's books. Do that thing. Just because we had a disagreement, who cares? And it was time for that disagreement. And it's like, oh, well, it's bad that the falling out happened. It's not bad that the falling out happened. Maybe it was time for the falling out to happen. And that's okay. And that's reasonable that people move on from other people in their life. And that's not something that we should chastise or try to hold on, because people change as time goes on. People adapt and become more and gather new information and have different experiences. And the person that somebody might be today may be somebody, the person you're interacting with today could have been somebody totally different tomorrow. It's one of the things that I kind of came up with this thing a while back. It's like, well, if you don't like who I am today, come back tomorrow. I might be somebody totally different. And the idea is that if you're constantly working on yourself and doing self-reflection and constantly working on attempting to become more, or that chasing that person that you could eventually be in your life, and you're eventually you might start saying things and doing things that just irritate other people, because that's not the person that they knew 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. Well, it's like, well, of course not, because I have 3 or 4 or 5 years of knowledge and experience between my ears now that just wasn't there before. And that's going to color my personality, and that's going to change my, it's the people who tell me, I've been this way since high school. I don't hang out with those people. Those people deny personal growth. Those people deny taking experience and knowledge into factor and becoming better people and experiencing the journey of self-growth. And so when I have falling outs with people, it is what it is. And it's not something to lament. It's something to go, wow, this happened. But you can take those moments and you can cherish that time that you had. You can cherish the fun time. Like when the Hedge said he was no longer going to be in the Discord servers, I was like, man, well, that sucks. But damn it, I got to record some voice lines for him for a commercial of his. I got to talk with him many times on streams, and all of those moments are moments to cherish. I don't lament the fact that the relationship came to an end. Instead, I cherish the time that I had to spend with this person during the time period of my life where he and I aligned to a certain point where we could have those experiences together. So yeah, I was a different person years ago when a lot of you guys even found me. I still have a lot of the same opinions, but a lot of my opinions and my knowledge of history and things like that have grown. And so does that make sense? Does that make sense as to why I don't, it doesn't suck to lose people in the follower base. It's fine. It is what it is. It happens. I joke a certain way now. I joke certain ways, and people are like, well, I can't do this anymore. And it's like, dude, that was a fucking joke. But like, okay, but if that's what drives you off, then that's okay. But we got to hang out and we got to know each other for a while. We were friends for a moment. And I really wish people would accept that you will have more friends in a moment than you will ever have friends forever in your life. Now, the friends forever in your life, you'll only ever have one, maybe two of those. But eventually you're going to grow apart. I don't think I talk with anybody that I went to high school with. I talk with one person occasionally. But my best friend today is a friend that I've known since for about 11 years now. I was out of high school. Is he going to be a friend forever? I don't know. I hope so. But if the day comes where the separation happens, do I lament it? No, I cherish the time that we had. Because I realize we might not be friends until we're old men. We may only be friends for a moment. And when that moment is over, it's time to accept that moment is over and move on with your life. Because that means you're probably a different person than you were when you met. Reality always catches up no matter how much you try to escape. So don't dive too deep into escapism. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, sorry to kind of go on that friendship. That's just how I view a lot of that stuff. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I have a different view on stuff, and people think I'm weird for it. But, ladies and gentlemen, I've been going for about an hour and a half at this point. I have to go to the bathroom really bad. And I want to give my voice a rest because with our furnace going, it's definitely the voice is getting a little raspy. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Tonight, I do hope that all of you will join me on Thursday. I still have stories that I didn't cover tonight. And probably more stories to cover on Thursday. And hopefully we get to make fun of more AI CEOs because that would be great. Those videos are doing well. They popped off. Turns out, when you make fun of people that everybody dislikes, you get views. Who'da thunk it, ladies and gentlemen? Who'da thunk? When you make fun of people that everybody dislikes, you get views. Actually, that's not true. I had to change my titles on those videos and then they popped off because it's not just enough to agree with everybody. Your SEO also has to be good. Royce, how was the gym session, by the way? Shit, didn't do that. Wait, the point I did do it on Sunday, though. We did a little bit on Sunday. He realizes, he's like, holy crap, Dad, this is tough. Because I'm starting off with planking and things like that. And have you guys, I forget what the position is, but you get into a sit-up position and you basically hold yourself at a 45-degree position. You don't do sit-ups. You just go back until you feel gravity start to take you at like that 45-degree position, and then you just hold yourself. You guys ever done that? He tried doing that the other day, and yeah, even I did it, dude. And I think I only did it like 45 seconds. It's been a long time since I used to do stuff like that, and I am flabby. I'm very flabby. But yeah, I got to tomorrow though, because Monday nights are tough because of the stream. But tomorrow night, Boy and I are gonna work out when I get home. My love, remind me tomorrow night when I get home. Boy and I are gonna work out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into A Drink with Crazy. And as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.